Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Showdown.
I don't even know how we usually intro MUBRS.
This is pretty much it.
We just start,
Yeah.
and then they throw the
Well, cool. So before we talk about, do you want to discuss it right now?
what
E3.
E3.
Yeah.
All right, so E3 is the Electronic Gaming Expo. It's out in California. Happens every year. It's usually a gigantic event where a lot of companies come in and they post these gigantic, huge, enormous events where they have stage shows and have trailers and demos and usually weird oddities and people on stage and usually corporate people giving long-winded speeches.
Yes, and then developers who cry because they are so proud of their work, which was a touching moment. Wait, oh my gosh, it's a baby. Oh, and to let everybody know, there will be 3 for right now. Clark is taking a small hiatus, but you still have us.
He's taking a what?
Small hiatus.
Hiatus?
Hiatus.
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 I think that's how you pronounce it.
Hiatus.
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 Yeah.
Hiatus.
Hiatus.
What are you saying?
Hiatus.
Hiatus?
Hiatus?
Like Titus, but hiatus?
Titus?
Exactly.
Don't say Titus.
No, it's hiatus.
Damn, I'm
This-
sorry. The Final Fantasy X wounds?
Listen to my story.
Oh, God. You guys are...
Okay, just kidding.
So yeah, what were your takes on E3, Ralph?
Well, for me, E3, in the last couple of years anyway, I usually stream it. I like to watch as much as I can live, which is something you could never do, maybe not 5, but 10 years ago. As a kid, you would read about E3 in a magazine and be like, oh my God, look at all this stuff that you saw, and you see screenshots. You'd see like one blurry screenshot and then think about the game for the next year.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, like what E3 has become in like the past 10 years is just now it is like an event for everybody almost, rather than usually it's
Not just the corporate. Right. That's
Yeah,
They
right.
open the doors to the public now. Correct?
Right,
Yes.
right.
That's
yes.
something. What it started 2 years ago, I think.
A few years ago, I think it was about 5 years ago. G4. I don't know if you remember that network. Like,
Oh, yeah.
G4.
I remember G4.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
G4.
yeah, they would have
Ninja Warrior.
Yes, Attack of the Show.
Was it G4 or was it Spike that had movies that don't suck? I think it was,
th-
I think it was G4. I don't remember.
Yes, that's right. G4 did have movies that don't suck, even though they kind of sucked.
Anyway,
That's okay.
yeah. So E3 was this year, and there
Every
was
year.
some.
It wasn't last year.
Yeah,
oh
you're right.
no.
E3 recently happened, and there were some pretty big announcements. I want to say not any huge surprises. Like there were things that I was looking forward to, like maybe some Red Dead 2 stuff, or
I was
some
surprised there
Last
wasn't
of Us
anything
2.
that. I was surprised.
Right. So I was sort of holding out for those. Like, I didn't get to watch Nintendo's Live because it was during work hours, but this year they kind of launched it really early, like on the weekend, and then they did it like 9 o'clock Pacific time. Some of them, I think that was.
Really?
I think it was Sony's. I watched at midnight here, Eastern Standard Time.
No, because they had it live. I think it was at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
9 o'clock Eastern?
PM. Because I remember seeing just people randomly saying it's like, oh, I'm watching this and that. So I ended up popping up YouTube on my TV so I could actually stream it. It took a couple different channels to watch to actually have a fluid stream of it, but
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking Bethesda then, because the main ones that I was looking forward were Bethesda, Ubisoft, the big Ubi, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Xbox, I could pretty much care less at this point. No offense to any Xbox fanboys, but I don't have an Xbone, and I don't plan on buying an Xbone, or an Xbone X, or an Xbone Scorpio, or Xbone Lite, or
So much
Heavy,
bone.
or Box, or whatever.
A lot of boning going on.
I know.
Xbone Box X, whatever it is. I wasn't interested. They announced a new console. It's supposed to be the most powerful console ever in the history of man, and it can display like 600K, and it's supposed to be amazing and everything.
600K?
600K?
Yeah, not 4K. No, we're done with 4K.
We are way past that by this point.
4,000K. Well, wait, no. K stands for 1,000, or like 4K.
Yeah,
is
yes,
1,000.
it does. So 600,000.
40,000.
Oh. So
Warhammer? No. Okay. So
Actually, we'll be talking about that tonight.
Microsoft did their announcement. I don't think they announced any, major games or anything of note. At least nothing that jumped out at me. They did announce a new console. Can't take that away from them. Bethesda did theirs, and I was looking. Obviously, I was like, "Oh my God, Elder Scrolls 6, or a half like sequel to Fallout 4, sort of like New Vegas came out within 2 years."
Skyrim VR.
Skyrim VR and Fallout 4 VR, which I have to admit, Fallout 4 VR, that right now sounds like the most definitive VR experience. Not to say anything bad against Skyrim, but Fallout 4 really isn't that old by comparison.
No.
Skyrim came out in 2011, and I've played Fallout 4. I think I put at least 50 or 60 hours into it. I didn't beat the main story, and there are things that I liked about it and other things that I didn't, but VR Fallout 4, holy shit.
That seems like that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, like the games that we've played, Harry, with your stuff, like you can play with that for maybe an hour or two, you enjoy it, or you hand it off to somebody else. It's a good party game, the stuff that we play. Yeah. Fallout 4 VR. Days would disappear in the game. You'd take the headset off and be like, "Oh man, this is weird." You'd probably dream in that world, and then wake up, be like, "Oh, I got to put this back on."
I'd be okay with that.
Sort of like reverse Inception. No, not really. But yes, they did announce that, which was great. But other than that, Bethesda kind of missed the mark. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people online have said this, and I'll reiterate. Last year's Bethesda E3 event, I think, was their first. They announced Fallout 4, and it would be launching in no time. And they announced Fallout Shelter for your phone right then.
Yeah.
It was a coup. It was fantastic. They just came in, their first thing, and they just knocked it out of the park. And this year they didn't really have a way to back that up.
It was a little lackluster.
Right. They probably have a lot in the pipe, and next year will be amazing. I mean, you can't consistently announce games like Fallout 4 or
Yes, you can.
Well,
bullshit.
Why am I talking about Fallout? Fallout's your thing. So, Bethesda, they kind of missed the mark. The next one was Ubisoft. They announced Assassin's Creed Origins, which is set in Egypt.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
I did see the trailer for that one. I remember looking back and forth at the screen.
Yeah,
Wasn't crazy impressed because, I was just trying to dodge those boxes, but...
Oh, Jesus.
I wonder what the Egyptian version of dodging scholars with wooden boxes of books would be.
I have scrolls.
Mothers with babies in their basket.
Oh, God.
near rivers.
Oh, my.
Moses? No. Anyway.
Yes, no, we picked up on that.
Yes,
we just did
Moses.
not acknowledge it.
Of course not. So, I actually think that Origins could be interesting. And I guess it's because now I've played Assassin's Creed, or I've played a Assassin's Creed game to its full. I'm a little bit more interested. I'm probably going to pick up Black Flag at some point, but I wasn't immediately like, another Assassin's Creed. I was like, you know what? Egypt? Okay.
Yeah.
That can be interesting.
I don't know. I only really, like I said, I only really watched PlayStation to see what was going on with them. And there's really not much that I got too excited about. I think the only thing that really stands out is the new Spider-Man game coming out. But that's only because Spider-Man 2 for the very first Xbox, one of my hands down favorite games, period. Just being able to sling webs, fly through the city. Obviously, there was a lot left to the imagination, but I think that's where this might actually pick up with. And if the gameplay is going to be anything like what they actually showed at E3, then I think they have a home run on their hands.
That's a really good point that you bring up. A lot of what Sony showed in their press conference was trailer gameplay or just gameplay.
Yeah.
The other ones like Ubisoft and Bethesda, a lot of that was just trailer.
Yeah, which I would rather actually see actual gameplay so I know what I'm getting into instead of just, hey, here's a video. It might look something like this, but in most cases, it's probably not going to.
Right. And that's the thing you have to watch out for because everybody gets so fucking hyped up and then nothing.
Overall, I will say, I didn't really watch the PlayStation E3 presentation, but I looked at a list of the games that were announced online. Nothing really caught my eye, nor was I interested in. I don't know if I was looking for certain franchises or anything, but no, I mean, just going off of the titles that I'm looking for, I didn't see anything that really caught my eye.
Right. There were some, like, Horizon Zero Dawn, and they announced DLC for them in the PlayStation 1.
I think that's something that's going to be holding true for a while. I think that's going to be kind of like the next Skyrim for a little bit, because I know it has such a big following. And then I know hearing and talking amongst some other friends that they are very excited for that.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I have to admit, I haven't played any of it, and I'm not really sure why. It came out like the same week as the Switch and Zelda, so it just got like lost somewhere. But I do want to pick that one up. I'm a fan of Ashley Birch, as I've said multiple times. I think she's the lead voice actress. Yes. You know what? I watched the Sony one live with Bob, and we both kind of felt underwhelmed at the end. Like we were waiting for a Last of Us 2 or a Final Fantasy. I was waiting for something. And there was no Square Enix. There was no Square
Final
Enix.
Fantasy.
What?
Yeah, not
You making a joke?
Big. No.
Oh my God, you're right.
Where the
How did I
fishing
skip that?
adventure,
Oh
the
my
VR.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see that?
Yeah.
You are
Does it
missing
look like
out.
a gem?
Oh, it is an absolute gold mine where you just get to play as Noct and just fish.
Oh, God.
It's a VR.
The
fishing
highlight
game.
of the Final Fantasy 15. Now,
I mean-
virtual reality.
Yes, but
Exactly.
now you are immersed in a fishing world. It's Bass Pro Shops.
Big
Noct
Bass
version.
Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not even kidding. Like I'm frustrated because at first I was like, holy shit, Final Fantasy 15 in VR. Oh my God. No, it's just knocked like doing some fishing. And it's
It
like,
was such a
Why?
little. They honeypot
Oh, and
so
you know,
bad.
Shit, what's his name? Was the big guy
Gladius.
Gladius? You know he's gonna be like, Knock, we gotta go.
We got-
Like, like every
I just need
30
to catch
seconds,
this
like you did
fish.
again. You better change that line, Knock.
oh, you got a big one there, Knox. You better pull hard. Oh.
How's that lore?
Don't let the line get weak. Or don't let the line get soft. Or whatever.
Yeah, never let it get soft.
Limp. Your limp line.
Your limp line.
Start acting like a king.
Lip line law.
So, is there anything else you guys wanted to add about E3?
Oh, yeah, I'm not done. So,
Oh no.
Hold on a second.
Anyway, the Spider-Man 2 game to me is kind of underwhelming. Like I didn't play Spider-Man 2 for the 7th
Xbox.
gen.
Whatever.
PS2, Xbox, whatever.
Okay.
GameCube. I didn't play that. I'd heard a lot of hype about it, but I didn't play it.
It was good for what it was.
I just feel that Sony really like fell flat there. Like a lot of things were building up were good. The God of War trailer, and I've never
That did
played.
look neat.
Right,
Yeah.
I've never played through a God of War game, but this is less God of War, more like The Last of Us. It sort of
Less-
looks like that.
The God of the Last of War.
The God of the Last of War, yes. Whoever trademarked that, well, good job.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if this was at E3. I heard they're re-releasing. I think they've released it before, or I'm sorry, what game is something with Titans where you're like this little guy?
Shadow of
Shadow of
Colossus.
Colossus.
Yes.
Thank you. I heard they're
Yes.
remaking it again.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
Well-
So they did an HD remake for the PlayStation 3, and now that's like, no, this is a full like engine remake.
Okay.
Because you're right, they announced that, and I was like, holy shit, a sequel to Shadow of the Colossus? How's that gonna work? And then I started to recognize certain colossi,
That works.
Go with it.
and I was like, oh, this is the same thing. This
Yeah.
is like the, oh, God.
I've never played the game, but I've heard such great things.
Yeah.
Like maybe you guys would be interested in delving into that game one of these
I would.
evenings.
I wouldn't mind it. I only got to play a little bit, more so just watched one of my friends play through it, and just even that little bit, I'm in. I'm cool for that.
No, I'm sold on the concept of it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just boss fight after boss fight, essentially, right?
For the most
And
part,
it's like
at least
a whole-
from
That's
what
all
I've
it is.
yeah.
Like the game is a series of like I think it's 17 or 18. It's like just enormous bosses that you climb.
You,
Or
you
have to-
climb, fight, battle, and
Yeah,
then
you
have
have
to
to-
find like
Oh.
certain ways.
They are remaking Dragon's Dogma as well, which I
Really?
don't know if
I
you ever
don't-
played that.
No.
Speaking of climbing on creatures, they had. Sorry, I know we're getting off of the
Sexy.
E3 conversation, but in this game, it blew me away. Like, it was the first time. It was like a very mythical world. I think it follows like one of those like Western RPG styles where you have a character. You actually get a AI party.
Oh, you have a
in this
character.
game.
Oh, okay. You have an AI partner. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you have 3 partners.
Oh.
One you can really customize. 2 are like rented. You're like hiring mercenaries more or less. You don't really get to
jeez.
customize those.
They're slaves?
But,
So it's Western, early 1900s, late 1800s.
Sure,
You
sure,
rent
whatever.
them, sure.
But anyway, in this game, like the creatures are so massive.
It's set in Africa.
What?
I was trying
The
to dance
slavery?
around
You're
that.
trying to dance around it?
Yeah, no, you just
You
like
said giant magic creature. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. Short
We're just derailing you. Go ahead.
I'm just saying the creatures in this game are so massive that you can actually climb on them. Like you can delegate one member to slash the feet. One can go for the eyes if you have a bowman. One can go for the neck. Like you're climbing all over these creatures and everything. I don't
Sounds
know.
like
It was a
Return of the King.
fantastic game. It just felt. It was the first game I ever played that incorporated something like that. It just felt epic. But I think Shadow of the Colossus was out many, many years before.
2005, I think, was Colossus.
Yeah, I don't know when Dragon's Dogma was. I think
It was the next generation.
360.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
One thing I completely skipped over that I wanted to mention was Ubisoft finally. Yeah, that's what it is from now on. It's not Ubisoft. It's Ubisoft.
Oh, it's funny, Simon, before you get into this, somebody showed, he was like, we've been looking at the Ubisoft symbol the wrong way the entire time, and they did like a side view instead of the overhead, and it looked like just like the swirl is like a pile of shit.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh man.
I thought that was really funny.
That was good.
Well, speaking of the pile of shit, they announced. No, not really. Not really at all. Speaking of Ubisoft, they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, which I had heard rumblings and rumors about a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil. I've never played it. This is the theme of this episode. Sorry. I've never played Beyond Good and Evil, but I know it was well received, and I think they had a trailer like 9 or 10 years ago. They had a trailer.
Never even heard of
For
the
the
game
sequel, no?
franchise at all. No.
I watched the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2, and it was like a mixture of Star Wars and The Fifth Element with like animal beings. And holy shit, I think I'm going to play Beyond Good and Evil in preparation for it. It looks incredible.
Why would you do that? Nobody likes the Fifth Element.
I love The Fifth Element. Are you
That's
kidding?
one of
I'll get the fuck out of here.
Multipass.
God, I could not stand that fucking movie.
I have
Are
it
you
on-
fucking serious?
have it
No,
on Blu-ray.
I've seen it like 3 times now.
Oh my
I just
god, the
can't.
man who can't stand The Fifth Element
No, I want to know
Okay.
where that's
fucking
going.
loves
Please.
Sucker Punch. Are you kidding me?
I hate you. You're the worst.
I can't believe this. Oh my god.
Sucker Punch is amazing.
Lilo Dallas Multipass.
Me protect you. Bada boom.
Element.
Big bada boom.
Supreme being.
Big bada boom.
Oh, God.
Me protect you.
Sexy.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were saying Ubisoft.
Yeah,
No.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. You guys should really watch the trailer. Anybody listening, watch the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 on YouTube. If you're not hooked by that trailer, and again, no gameplay, just trailer, but it looks incredible. It's sort of
I'll have to check it out.
even a little bit of like Star Wars, Fifth Element, and Final Fantasy. I guess you put them all in a blender with animals, and there you go.
Oh. Like Cartoon Joe. What is it? Frog
So-
in a blender?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Nintendo.
Oh, I
At
was waiting for
E3.
it.
Let me crack my neck here.
Mario and
Yeah, I bet you something's
Whatever
coming
that-
out with
yeah.
Mario in it.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
Zelda.
Mario Odyssey. What are you talking about? You don't know about that? So there's a new 3D Mario coming out where it's set in like a semi-realistic world, like there are humans walking around. And I have to admit, like I was a little nervous because I'm thinking of Sonic Adventure, right? Where there's Sonic in a city and he's talking to like humans.
Mm-hmm.
You're sort of breaking all the conventions of what we've established with decades of games. So it's Mario in like New York City. And the big game mechanic now is that when he puts his hat, his hat has sentience, sort of like is the Minish Cap, Zelda, the Minish Cap. With that, your hat is like a person. So with this, Mario
Okay.
can like throw his hat at like a bullet bill, and boom, Mario becomes Bullet Bill. And then he has a limited amount of time to use him and have all his power-ups. Almost like Kirby. Like he uses the hat to absorb or become whatever that object is.
You're saying there's a stray bullet in New York City? Well, that would never happen.
No.
Mario Odyssey.
I'm going to be the police.
Mario
Watch out, a
Odyssey,
minority.
Nintendo Switch.
Beep, beep, beep.
Look it up. Here we go. No, it looks pretty good, I think.
Is this the game where Mario opens up a little family mom and pop pizza shop in the Bronx?
Actually,
Try my pepperoni.
no, they were plumbers in New York in the movie, if that's what you're referencing.
Oh. that movie was terrible. God damn.
That
was
movie
another
is a
great
fucking guilty
movie.
pleasure. I will watch that movie anytime. It's so bad.
I don't know.
I love it.
I will Netflix and chill with you.
John
Ralph, watching
Leguizamo.
that.
John Leguizamo as Luigi.
Hey, I'm Luigi. It's terrible.
Bob Hoskins is English playing in Italian. John Leguizamo is Latino playing in Italian.
I'm Mario.
They're brothers.
Luigi,
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Dennis Hopper is Koopa.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, Nintendo, they announced
It's Nintendo. It doesn't really matter.
I know. It matters to him.
Nintendo is not a no count. So in Mario Odyssey, not only does he have the hat gimmick thing, but apparently instead of it just being Bowser kidnapping Peach as the plot,
Oh God, it got dark.
and I haven't actually seen the full trailer, so shame on me, but I'm going to bring this up.
He makes her turn tricks finally,
I
right?
think, I'm forgetting the one big thing. I think Mario, I think.
Yeah, please tell us. Are you thinking?
He might be thinking.
Bowser steals Peach with the intention of marrying her, because you see them both in like that kind of garb. Like he's in like Bowser's in like a white suit and Peach is in a white dress. So Mario has to like stop the wedding.
He's going to make an honest woman out of her.
I guess so.
And before lizard human babies.
Those Koopa kids had to come from somewhere, right?
Sure.
Yep.
I didn't say that. I didn't
Lizard
say that.
vagina.
I didn't say that. It didn't come out of my mouth. Okay.
No.
The other big Nintendo thing is that they announced Metroid Prime 4, which is huge. Huge.
Yes.
Huge. Gina. Huge.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be a blaster. It's gonna roll in a ball. Shoot energy. It's gonna be huge. Great. Best ever. No other Prime. Just Prime. Prime 4.
Thank
There's
you.
been 3, but it's 4.
Thank you, President, Commander, Emperor Trump. That
You're
was
welcome.
wonderful.
You're welcome. It was great. I wrote that myself. No one helped.
Now I can't tell if you're doing Trump or Alec Baldwin as Trump.
All the same. Other way. Penis. Huge.
I enjoyed that. I didn't know where it was going at first. I was like, sure.
I didn't know where it was going the entire time.
That's what she said, but never mind.
You just write it out and grab it by the pussy.
Wow. All right, I'm done with E3.
Gotcha.
Oh, wait, one more thing. Miyamoto jumped out like for the Ubisoft press conference for a Mario crossover game with Rabbids. So there's
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And Miyamoto's kind of just like in his nature, he's kind of a goofy, funny guy. I didn't see that one live, but I heard about it. And
No, I heard about it. And then you
yeah.
saw the pictures of the one developer where he was so proud of that game that he cried. But at least he put that much of his heart and soul into something that it brought him to tears. But it was for Nintendo, so he'll be crying a second time.
Okay, that was.
Did you see what I did?
That was a good one.
great.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, enough E3.
Enough E3.
Dick stroking over here. Harry, what's
you ready for E3?
Are you ready? Harry, what have you been playing?
I got 6 games under the belt this past 2 weeks.
6.
You beat 6
No,
games?
I didn't beat 6 games, but I invested quite a bit of time into each one of these games.
Oh yeah, you
Alrighty.
had vacation, didn't
I
you?
had vacation. It was
Vacation.
glorious. So let's get the Rainbow Six Siege out of the way. I did, before we move on from that game, I had my first ace.
Ooh.
And I have it posted on YouTube. Got all 5 kills in a match.
When were you playing
Nice.
tennis?
What?
When were you playing tennis? Your first ace?
My first ace.
So-
Did you
so
have an
addicted.
opponent, or did you just serve?
No, I just went to a dead server. So that was exciting. But
No, wait. What's an ace?
kill all the players on the opponent. Or the
You
opposing
killed
team.
them all?
Yeah, I killed them all by
Personally.
myself.
And you didn't
Yes.
post that?
I did post it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't show you. I can link the video. It was close too because I was
Cool.
down to minimal health.
Dying
And
to
2
see
people
it.
lined up for like 1 bullet.
Oh,
So
nice. Twofer.
Yeah, it was nice.
All right. So Siege is out of the way. What else have you been playing?
Played a bit more of Unraveled with Leanne. I'm still really impressed with that game.
yeah.
For $5, it's such a steal. I really need to. She doesn't want me to beat it because she wants to beat it. But I'm just itching to just play through this game.
The girlfriend
so
syndrome.
bad.
Oh, we're
No,
still
don't-
talking about games, right? Got it.
don't finish that without me. I want to watch the rest of the season. Don't
Leanne
start
doesn't
the
sound like
season.
that at all.
Don't start the rest of the season.
Leanne doesn't sound like that at all either.
Please tell me she doesn't listen. I will die.
No, she tried once and she was like, "You guys are nerds."
Accurate, but now I have creative freedom. Excellent.
What else? Oh, so new Warhammer edition came out. Warhammer 40K. So I was super pumped.
What system is that on?
Shut up. No,
that a video game?
This is tabletop first.
Tabletop?
But-
Oh, tabletop.
So I got done playing a game. I didn't get my fill.
Steve and I played checkers while we were waiting for you.
Yeah, it was great.
That's our tabletop
He kinged
game.
me.
Checkers, king me.
It was actually docking. We just called it checkers.
Talking.
Surprise, he's uncut.
Italians, right?
Yeah, no. Fuck all of you.
I got my Irish snip.
So yeah, I didn't get my fill. So I decided to go home, play Dawn of War on the PC, the first one, because I know they released Dawn of War 3 recently. But I didn't feel like forking out the money for a new one, so I just played the original. But I downloaded one of the mods for the game.
Nice.
They didn't include one of the major races with the original release. So the community came together, made the entire race themselves, and just kind of tweaked the game.
out.
So I downloaded that, uploaded it, played. This was so cool because I was playing against Kyle's typical army that he actually plays on the table, and I was playing with the Tyranids, which I just downloaded, and they have
Tyra what?
They're called
Tyranids.
Tyranids. They're like for people that play StarCraft. They're like was it the Zerg? Is that what they're called?
Yes.
So anyway.
They're like alien dinosaurs, basically.
Yeah. So I went down. It was basically once you upgrade the Tyranids all the way in the game, you don't have to pay for building cost anymore. You could just infinite keep sending waves.
Oh.
But it was so late in the game at this point, and they fortified their position so much that I had to go down this entire canyon and just send waves and waves and waves, and it took me about an hour and a half of just sending waves of creatures
That sounds
down
like
this trench.
so much fun.
It was a blast. I literally.
Nice sending waves.
You don't run out of resources?
in waves.
No,
That happens?
when you maximize this army, you have unlimited resources
Oh.
for unit creation. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
the top tier when you get to that point in the game. And they were sitting on a ton of resources, and they're a very ranged army. Mine was strictly melee.
Right. I remember
So
that
they were
about
like they
Tyranids.
had the gun line just set up, and I was just sending. I have the pictures. Like I had the entire screen swarmed where the computer could barely load.
Oh my god.
You couldn't keep up. My kills. I think I lost 11,000 units. Not even models, but
Just
like
but
11,000
units.
Units,
Oh my
full
God.
units of I think they were 30 each of the
Jesus.
creature, and it took me like an hour and a half, and I just kept sending them and sending them and sending them,
Jesus.
and it
That's
just
crazy.
it looked amazing though, just like the amount of firepower, and they're all like just slowly having to retreat further and further back until I just wiped them off the map. But it was so glorious looking, and I was sending in the big creatures and all the little griblies and everything like that. It was amazing time. Looked beautiful.
It's kind of funny you're talking about games that you haven't played in a while and with the mods, because that was pretty much something I've been getting into. Mary recently picked up Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS4. I had it for the PS3, played through the whole entire storyline and
Yeah, I
started
did that
playing
too.
online. And then she finally picked up for 4, which sucks for me. I found out back in March the character transfer was done away with, so I had to start from square one again.
I didn't know there was character transfer.
Yes, if you had because they had for PS3 and 360 where they released Grand Theft Auto 5, but they also had for PS4 and Xbox One where you could take your character that you were playing, which you had to go out and buy another copy. So already they nailed you for another $60, but you can transfer your character, your money, your cars, and everything over. But there's a big hubbub going on right now because Take-Two is actually taking legal cease and desist orders to the modding community of Grand Theft Auto 5, which has been just huge in itself. Just where there's certain servers where people are making their own and making like certain type of play styles just specifically to that, and which was a really big part of Grand Theft Auto Online, and now they're actually really cracking down on the modding. Granted, they're going under the premise of, well, it's stopping cheaters who are dropping, millions and millions of dollars on other players so they can get, further ahead in the game. Even though
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
yeah, I know the game that was always about just making fun of being the establishment and corporation is now the established corporation, who's just making. I think I was reading somewhere they made $750 million just off of microtransactions.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, because granted, like one of them, I think it's $100 can get you 8 million in game. $8 million is the cost of like one bunker, which you need to buy the bunkers so you can start doing these other type of missions.
Heists.
Not even just the heist. This is like beyond the heist, where at least like I'm in my rebuilding. I can be president of a motorcycle club, and by being president, I can start opening like cocaine factories or car smuggling, stuff like that. But you have to pay into that to be able to make money back to make more money. But people just get ahead by buying the shark cards, and they've made such a profit off of it. There was always the people who modded to get their money one way or another, and then the people who were paying into it to get that jump ahead.
Pay to win.
And then, exactly. And then the ones who were just like myself that just grind it out because I'm not going to pay extra money into a game except Rocket League. But it's just...
What did you buy in Rocket League?
I bought keys so I can open my crates and get and get different cars and custom decals
Nerd.
and tires.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. But
Well, you put the time into it, so in theory, it's worth it.
yeah, that was at least something where I came up with. And not to mention where I can get 20 keys for $20, whereas and that's like the most expensive thing you can buy for microtransactions for Rocket League, where Rockstar and Take-Two have the option to spend $100 to get in-game currency. Like, it's just, to me, I just find that a little ridiculous. But there's a huge backlash to the point, even on Steam, Grand Theft Auto 5, there's been so many negative reviews where you see the ratings and everything, it's dropping. It's gone from good, and now the overall is kind of like a mixed, but the most recent, where they have recent reviews, is overwhelmingly negative. And so it's just, people are angry. People are upset.
Killing the golden goose.
Yeah, kinda. It's kind of like a big giant middle finger to the people who have stuck with this game for years. I mean, it's been out for what, like
2013, I think it came out for.
Yeah, I was going to say like
PC though. I think it was 15.
Something. So the past like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that. And it's just they're kind of just saying a big fuck you to the people who have stuck with it and given the other players who want more out of it what they actually wanted, where now it's just becoming monetary. So I got in at a really good time.
Jesus.
Sarcasm.
I mean, it's really ironic because what I know of Grand Theft Auto 5 is that, okay, Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in 2008. They did Red Dead in 2010. And then in 2013, they did GTA 5. And it was pushed back a couple times, I think. And
Yeah,
people were angry about that. They wait until the last year, like 6 months of the console generation. They sell like 10 million copies in no time for GTA 5.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next year they announce it for the new consoles and sell it all over again. They sold like 30 million copies of that game.
Oh, yeah. Just off of Grand Theft Auto 5 alone, they brought in over $1 billion total. I mean, that's huge for a video game. $1 billion.
It's up there with like a blockbuster movie or
Absolutely.
more. And online has been very successful for them to the point where there were concerns about Red Dead 2 that maybe Red Dead would just be Red Dead Online because they were still making a profit off this game, and it's been their golden.
Their golden goose.
Their golden goose. It's been their golden goose.
Yeah.
You took a Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
It's been their
Oh,
golden goose?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the amount of money that they brought in from whether it's just the game itself and then online, and then once they started the microtransactions and then really started pushing, and they made everything so expensive to get. It's really just kind of a kick in the balls from where I was playing and how much time I put into it just to get like a certain car.
I'm sorry. Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 75 million units.
75 million
Wow.
units.
75 million $60 games.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that's just games.
Now, okay, getting back into the microtransactions
That's as of
real
February, by the way. It's June.
quick. In general, I think most games that do microtransactions do get some kind of backlash at some point. I mean,
little
that was
bit.
the downfall. You remember Evolve?
Yes.
That was the downfall of that game. That was a pain in the ass.
I think there were several downfalls of Evolve.
Well, yeah, but I mean that was the one that really caught my eye.
Well, my thing is, it depends on what you do with it. If you reinvest it into the game, yes, I could see that. With the amount of money that Rockstar and Take-Two has made off of that, they could have done a lot more than they already have. Yes, they're coming out with new content, but with how hard they make it for you to achieve that as a brand new player without having to spend so much money to try to get ahead monetarily, they make it really hard. Whereas I don't mind paying into like something like Rocket League because they actually turn around and it is a worldwide tournament where that turns into like actual prize money. Every 6 months to a year, they put out extra content to go along with it. Granted, there's some gripes about that, but still, at least they have something to give back to the community one way or another.
By the way, Steve, GTA 5 made $1 billion in 3 days.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. I was correct. I just thought over a much larger time.
Huh.
Nope.
And just to throw this out there, I'm currently looking at the list of the best-selling video games of all time on all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1,
World of Warcraft?
no.
Really? Oh, that's surprising.
Number 1 is Tetris.
Really?
They estimate
think of how many times they've
they estimate
that's true, but
495 million copies of Tetris have been sold since it was released in the 80s.
good job, Alexi.
Think about the GTA. Think about the GBA. Think about the NES, Super NES.
That's true. That's true. I could see that.
Cell phones.
Is that original Tetris though? Because I feel like Tetris
No.
has been named so many different
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
Do they clump it all together? Is that
It looks that
Probably.
way.
At
After
least
that-
everything under the Tetris umbrella.
After that's Minecraft with 122 million.
Minecraft
Really?
is more recent too? Like
Yeah.
way more recent.
Mm-hmm.
2011. GTA 5 is currently 4 on the list behind Wii Sports.
Wii Sports?
Wii Sports is 82 million.
No one goes out of your way to buy that.
Because it all came with the consoles, which counted as buying it.
Exactly.
It's a
Yeah.
cheap way to get your numbers
That
up.
is.
Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue,
Nintendo.
31 million. Skyrim, 30 million.
Would you say red, green, and blue?
Red, green, and blue. So green was released in Japan. Red and green were released in Japan, and then they brought blue and red to the United States.
okay.
But
I had red.
I don't think Tetris has made, and by looking at the listing, and I'm just going to cite Wikipedia for this, they're saying that Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 80 million copies.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Jesus.
Sorry, that was just something that
Yeah,
recently
no,
brought
that's,
up and that kind of derailed off of that.
So yeah, two of the games I've also been playing. I'm not going to mention because they're on upcoming episodes.
Oh no!
Snap. What? I don't want to do any spoilers there. But the last game I wanted to talk to you guys really quick about, Resident Evil 7 on the VR.
Oh yeah, you were excited for that.
I did. I played a couple hours of it in VR so far.
It's probably the reason you bought the VR. Just an observation.
Not for that game, no. I wasn't actually ever in. Well, I was probably going to play this at some point, but
Oh, Star Trek Online? Okay.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm still waiting for more titles to come out for the VR.
I've thought about the Star Trek thing. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. But
I probably would.
it's very frightening. I would love you guys to come over and play like an hour each. And
And we can
I-
record the TV and us.
yeah.
I just remember the demo. That
Oh,
was
by-
terrible.
Not only that, like with the whole VR, I make sure I play with the surround sound headset on too.
Well, you have
so
to.
you're like really engrossed in this world.
Oh God.
And they did an awesome job. I'm not gonna lie, it looks amazing. It
Have-
feels like you're there.
Have you been playing pretty much strictly VR?
I played a little bit outside of it, but I wanted to really indulge in the VR.
Take
for
advantage
this.
of that? Yeah.
So I'm playing it in little chunks.
I would too. Have you peed yet?
No.
Have you been close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
At
a
least-
bucket in the room just
At
in
least
case.
you're honest.
I've
yeah.
had the yell out moments where I couldn't even hear myself because the thing is so loud, but I'm just sitting there in the room by myself. Ah! Just do one of those. It just catches you off guard. I like there was a couple times I had to stop because I was just sweating bullets from being so
God.
goddamn nervous. Because I mean, just the sounds alone and oh man, it's so fucking scary.
Oh, whoa! This hall's dangerous.
I haven't. I mean, not trying to spoil anything. I haven't encountered one single regular zombie. I don't even know if
That's because it's not a Resident Evil game.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's titled Resident Evil,
It's
but
not
it
a
doesn't.
Resident Evil
It
game.
doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game.
I don't think it's a real Resident Evil game. I
No.
don't know what it is, but it's not Resident
When did
Evil.
Larry Flint get in here?
It's
Yeah,
just
I'm running out
Larry
of
Flint.
resources very quickly in the game though, because this one guy keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah, it's Nemesis in a new outfit.
Oh.
But he just keeps coming back. I'll cycle through a couple rooms, and then all of a sudden he's back, and it takes like a bunch of shots to down him again, and I'm just like really low on my ammunition.
Oh God.
So it's intense. It is intense, but I would like to have you guys over at some point.
I'd be down
to
for
try
that.
It out.
Absolutely.
Well, at least you got a. It sounds like you had a good medley of games
Yeah,
in the past
no.
week
I
or
will
so.
play that game, sir.
I will play that. Andy Dufresne always wanted to play Resident Evil.
Andy Dufresne.
He'd never
crawled
got
through
his chance,
500
though.
yards of shit, smelling foul, something awful I can't imagine.
That's a great movie.
That's 5 football fields. Came out clean on the other side.
Morgan Freeman's are terrible, but it's.
Dufresne.
You ever get Shawshanked?
Depends on what scene of the movie.
Oh, hey now. Hey now. So Shawshank is like, oh, it's Saturday, 2:00 in the afternoon. You got plans later that day. You've got laundry to do. Shawshank's on TV. Rest of the night's completely ruined. The day is gone. You have sat down at any point in the movie. Any fucking point. I mean, Brooks might still be there. He might not be there. It might be the scene where Andy's listening to the record. It might be the part where Tommy's like doing his schooling or whatnot. It doesn't matter. You get Shawshanked and you watch it to the end. It just happens.
That always happens with me and Mean Girls.
You can get Mean
That's it.
Girled too.
See, I was that way with Jaws for a long time.
You
Dun,
go,
dun,
Glenn
dun, dun.
Coco.
I never actually
Mean
seen
Girls quote? You've never seen Mean
I've
Girls?
never actually seen it. No.
You're a fucking liar. You're a piece of shit, Steve.
You're a phony.
I'm going to flip this
Big
table.
phony. Please do.
Mean Girls is actually pretty damn funny.
It's not that
Okay.
bad.
Not to mention, Rachel McAdams is wonderful in everything. that she
Well, I was
does.
going to say, because that's like prime Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, for the most part. Then
What were you going to say, Harry? Say it.
No, I don't remember.
you got Lindsay Lohan.
You got interrupted.
Oh my God, where's the cocaine?
Did you wait? Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, did you know she sued Rockstar
Yes.
over that? There's that one scene where you're with the one paparazzi guy, and she was like, and the front, one of the covers for the game, like the chick doing a selfie in a bikini. She was like, "That's me."
Yeah. Oh,
And
well,
she tried to take him to
that's
court.
not that they've already kind of referenced that the chick taking the selfie in the bikini is kind of geared towards Kate Upton.
I actually think there's an actress that they modeled it after. So
Kate Upton.
It
Yeah. No, just look at the photos. It's okay.
okay.
Blonde, rack, bikini. It's okay.
Anyway.
I've been playing a lot of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon's Wildlands.
No, really?
Yes, yes. Anybody there who's listening and is on my is a friend of anyone listening who is Facebook friends with me will have seen a couple clips here and there. I've been playing a lot with my friend Bob, who I mention all the time.
Good old Bob.
One of these days, maybe I'll get him on the show.
That'd be nice.
Uh,
I'd like to meet Bob.
I've met Bob before.
That can get pretty funny.
Have you?
Anyway, we've just been getting into all kinds of hijinks in that game
Aw.
because there's clear story missions, but there's so much to collect. The map is like twice the size of GTA 5. Just throwing that out there.
Jesus.
Damn. That's a lot of map.
And you're in fictional Bolivia, and there's a gigantic
Just like real
cocaine.
Bolivia.
Well, no, they were sued. Ubisoft was sued by the state, like the government of Bolivia, because of the way that their country was depicted. And they say in like the first screen of the game, like, this is a work of fiction. Like, Bolivia does not have this enormous. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. But
But they probably do. That's why they got so mad.
anyway,
Yeah.
you're taking down an enormous cocaine cartel, and
Definitely true.
I actually like the way all of it's done. I would give the game high marks if I were to give it an actual review. And maybe one of these days we will, but
Ralph really likes the way the cocaine is done in the game. That's what I'm learning.
we should title this E3 in Grand Theft Auto, because I'm going to reference Grand Theft Auto again. It's like Grand Theft Auto 5, but you can have a party of 4 co-oping. You can get 3 friends to get in a car and shoot out of it. And there are convoys on the road. So the convoys are a lot of fun. They're not part of the story missions. A lot of stuff that I've uploaded has been convoy stuff where, okay, a kilometer away, there's like a ambulance with 2 armored Hummers on either side
My
and
favorite.
a helicopter. And you have to get there, take out the helicopter, take out the helicopter, the Hummers, and then you have to take out a guard inside the ambulance, not the driver. You don't kill the driver. Well, I guess you could kill the driver, though we never tried that. I have fun with the driver, actually, afterward anyway. I usually stow him in the car that we're using and like take him off the cliff somewhere and do other things. But anyway,
Maniac.
not to sound like a sadist.
other things.
Do
Well,
other
what I mean
things.
is sometimes
rape.
okay,
I
not
will-
that.
I
Oh
will
my
prod
god.
him with my penis.
So
Yes, it shall be fantastic.
you can take an NPC and stow them in your car, and I just thought it was funny to see how long I could keep him alive, like throughout the game. But anyway,
Like your little buddy.
the convoys are a lot of fun. They're the closest thing to like a heist or whatever. But sometimes it can go really well. Sometimes it can go really bad. Sometimes it can go really, really well until that last moment. I have 2 examples of me accidentally running someone over when I didn't mean to.
Oops.
I'm usually the driver. Bob's the gunner, and it's
Hey,
just
Gunner
a lot
Bob.
of fun.
Cool.
Overall. And that should be it for MUBRS.
I think that'll do it.
I think that's
That's probably one of our longest mubbers ever.
That is.
Mubber,
Hey, thanks for
mubbers.
sticking through, guys. And
Ooh.
look, look.
No. I want to plug this because I'm trying to get this in every single episode. We have the poll on Facebook.
The poll.
Yes.
Please,
Please.
jump on there.
Jump on the pole.
Or-
Vote for one of the 5 games listed. because-
Dance the pole.
Or click on it. If you jump on it, you might break it. It's a little fragile.
yeah.
Don't jump on your computer.
Please don't.
Yeah, there's advice for everybody.
Or if you do, record it and then we'll put it up on Facebook. But we don't condone that action, but we will broadcast it.
Yeah, but no, please. The top of our Facebook page at facebook.com/superfunpodcast. It's pinned at the top of our page.
Pinned.
Please click on the link and answer the few questions.
Please do.
Because I think it's July 16th, it comes down.
Couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
It's almost there.
And we have not had a lot of submissions so far, which really bums me out.
Yeah, we'd really
help.
like some feedback, some votes.
I don't mind
Hit us up.
cuddling Harry, but there's a lot more of it because he is so bummed out.
Yeah, but I wanted to get that in before we ended the episode.
I love getting it in. Thanks, people. Thanks in advance.